Welcome to Deep World Updates. Please subscribe the channel and press the bell icon for more updates. The White House has announced sweeping new tariffs, shaking up global trade. For business owners, the future is uncertain. Canada insists. Only a deal that benefits Canada will be signed. But what does this mean for you, your job, your family? We're witnessing a seismic shift in the global economy, a realignment of power and trade. As Washington plays hardball, other nations are forging new alliances, cutting deals that could leave America isolated. This isn't just about numbers, it's about the products on our shelves and the security of our supply chains. The US has long been the center of the global marketplace, but now, essential goods are being redirected, often to Canada. Tonight, we'll follow the money, connect the dots, and ask what's the real cost to Americans when the world starts trading around us? Let's break it down. Number 7, China. The rare earth revolution. In the last decade, China has quietly transformed itself into the world's rare earth superpower, controlling the extraction and processing of these vital minerals. For years, we've depended on China for the minerals powering our tech and defense. From smartphones and electric vehicles to advanced military systems, rare earths are the invisible backbone of modern life. That assumption of endless supply, gone. Suddenly the world is waking up to the reality that these resources are not guaranteed. China is now redirecting rare earths to Canada, not the US. This shift is more than a trade decision, it's a strategic realignment. A $1.2 billion deal is building a North American rare earth hub, outside American control. This partnership is reshaping the global supply chain. Canada becomes the Western Hemisphere's top processor supplied by China. This new hub is set to dominate the market for years to come. This creates a parallel supply chain, bypassing the US entirely. American companies are now on the outside, looking in. American industries, tech, auto, defense, now face a future where they may need Canada for critical materials. The balance of power is shifting. It's not just about higher prices, it's about shortages and new vulnerabilities. Consumers and manufacturers alike will feel the impact. While we debated tariffs, China and Canada secured the building blocks of the 21st century economy. The US risks being left behind. This isn't just losing a supplier, it's empowering a rival and our neighbor. The geopolitical stakes have never been higher. The consequences: stifled innovation, weakened military readiness, and a message to the world: the US is no longer the only game in town. Our global influence is at risk. New alliances are forming, new centers of power emerging, the rare earth landscape is being redrawn before our eyes. This $1.2 billion deal is a strategic chess move, altering the balance of global industry and security. The rare earth revolution is here, and it may not include American leadership. The world is watching to see who will lead the next era. The question: how will we respond? The clock is ticking, and the window for action is closing fast. Number 6, India, the textile betrayal. For decades, Made in India filled American stores. The US was India's biggest textile customer, until now. India just signed a $1.8 billion deal with Canada, covering textiles, raw cotton, dyes, and even pharmaceuticals. This new alliance cuts America out, shrinking our supply and driving up prices for clothes and home goods. But it's bigger than fashion. India is a top producer of generic drugs. Prioritizing Canada could mean higher costs and shortages for American patients. Retailers and the struggling US textile industry face new hurdles. India is hedging its bets, choosing Canada's stability over US volatility. It's a business move with deep geopolitical consequences, a loss of faith in American leadership. This deal is another door closing for US consumers and businesses. It's not just an economic shift, it's a strategic realignment. India weighed its options and chose a future with Canada. For Americans, that means higher prices, fewer choices, and a warning: our partners are moving on. The textile betrayal is real. Are we paying attention? Number 5, Malaysia, the electronics exodus. In the heart of Southeast Asia, a quiet revolution is reshaping the global tech landscape. For decades, Malaysia has powered American tech giants with a steady flow of semiconductors and electronic components, fueling everything from smartphones to cars. But now, a massive $900 million deal with Canada is redirecting these critical essentials northward, signaling a major shift in global supply priorities. The focus? Not just electronic parts, but also palm oil, two resources absolutely vital to US industries, from tech to food production. Canadian firms now get first pick of microchips and components, leaving American companies scrambling to compete for what's left on the table. The result? Delays, shortages, and higher prices for everything from iPhones to F-150s. American consumers are already feeling the pinch, as shelves go empty and wait times grow. The recent global chip shortage exposed just how fragile these supply chains really are. This new deal threatens to make that risk a permanent reality for the U.S. palm oil, found in thousands of everyday products, is now more secure for Canada, while U.S. companies face rising costs and uncertain supplies. Malaysia and Canada are building a resilient, forward-looking partnership, diversifying away from U.S. uncertainty and forging new economic ties. For America, it's another stark warning. Our central role in global supply chains is eroding, and our dominance is no longer guaranteed. Each international deal chips away at our influence, one piece at a time. The electronics that power our daily lives are being rerouted, and the flow of innovation is shifting with them. The exodus is real, and unless we act, we're at risk of being left behind in the next wave of global innovation. Will we adapt, invest, and reclaim our tech edge, or simply watch as our leadership slips away? The choice is urgent. The world isn't waiting, and neither should we. Number 4, Brazil, the coffee coup. Brazil supplies much of America's coffee, sugar, and soybeans, but a $1.5 billion deal with Canada is changing that. Brazil is prioritizing Canada for its premium coffee beans, squeezing U.S. supply and raising prices. It's not just your morning cup. Soybeans feed American livestock, so meat prices could rise too. Canada gains a competitive edge, while U.S. farmers and consumers face higher costs. Brazil is diversifying, seeking stable partners as U.S. trade policy grows unpredictable. This isn't just about coffee, it's a shift in agricultural power. American exports to Brazil could face new barriers. Canada and Brazil are building a trading bloc that could sideline U.S. producers. The coffee coup is a sign. Our influence over key commodities is slipping. The market is moving on. Are we ready for the new reality? Number 3, Thailand, the manufacturing migration. Thailand has been a backbone of U.S. supply chains from auto parts to rice. Now a $1.1 billion deal with Canada shifts that output north. Canadian auto plants get priority access to Thai parts, putting Detroit at a disadvantage. Electronics and appliances assembled in Thailand will increasingly head to Canada, raising prices and reducing choices for Americans. On the food front, Canada secures stable supplies of rice and seafood, while U.S. importers face tighter markets. Thailand is seeking stability, moving away from U.S. trade uncertainty. Canada is positioning itself as the reliable partner. The result? A systematic dismantling of supply chains that once favored the U.S. Each deal is a brick in a new economic wall. The manufacturing migration is real, and America is no longer the default customer. The landscape is shifting fast. Will we keep up? Number 2, Vietnam, the new workshop of the world. As U.S. companies move production from China to Vietnam, we thought we were securing our supply chains. But a $2 billion pact with Canada means much of that new capacity is now reserved for Canadian buyers. Canada invests in Vietnam's factories, locking in access to high-tech electronics, apparel, and furniture. American investment built the factories, Canada gets the goods. U.S. companies now face bidding wars for output they helped create. Canada's strategy: let the U.S. take the risk, then secure the reward. For American consumers, this means higher prices and fewer options. The China Plus One strategy has backfired. Vietnam is still the workshop of the world, but increasingly, it's working for Canada. This is a masterclass in economic strategy. We missed the next move. The lesson: investment alone isn't enough. Strategy matters. Number 1, Mexico, the betrayal of a neighbor. For generations, the United States and Mexico have shared not just a border but a deep, complex relationship built on trust, trade, and mutual benefit. For decades, the U.S. and Mexico were economic partners, bound by NAFTA and $1 trillion in trade. Our economies became intertwined, with millions of jobs and entire industries depending on this cross-border cooperation. But now, everything has changed. Mexico has signed a $3 billion economic pact with Canada, creating a North American strategic partnership, with the U.S. left on the outside, watching as new alliances form. Canadian companies now get priority access to Mexican auto parts, and are first in line for new investments in EV batteries and semiconductors. This means future technologies and manufacturing jobs are shifting away from the U.S. Agriculture and energy are included too. Canada secures Mexican exports and privileged access to oil, gas, and green energy. This deal covers the very resources that power our continent. This is a direct challenge to the USMCA, creating a two-tiered system in North America. The old rules no longer apply and the balance of power is shifting. Why did Mexico do it? The answer is simple: stability. In a world full of uncertainty, Mexico is seeking reliable partners. Canada offers long-term certainty and predictability. The US, on the other hand, has become a symbol of volatility and political gridlock. This pact is the capstone of Canada's new strategy, building a rival supply chain network across the continent, one that can operate independently of American influence. The US is no longer the undisputed leader. Our dominance is being openly challenged, and our influence is fading. The real betrayal? It's not just Mexico's actions, it's our own lack of a coherent long-term economic strategy that left us vulnerable. We took our neighbors for granted, assuming old alliances would last forever. We failed to adapt as the world changed around us. Now, the economic map has been redrawn, and the roots of prosperity are shifting away from us. The question isn't just what will happen next, it's how we'll live, work, and compete in this new reality that's already taking shape. The stakes couldn't be higher. Our future, our jobs, and our place in the world are all on the line. Will we step up, adapt, and reclaim our leadership, or will we be left behind as the world moves forward without us? So where does this leave us? We've seen a cascade of deals isolating the US, not by conspiracy but by consequence. Canada has built a new economic empire on supply chains we once controlled. The world is moving on, seeking stability while we project uncertainty. The question now, do we keep pushing partners away, or do we rebuild trust and strategy? The cost of inaction is too high. This is a wake-up call. The future depends on the choices we make, right now.